Hi, I'm Dr. Julia Finch. I'm Associate Professor of Art History in the Department of Art and Design at Morehead State University. I'm also the Interim Director of the Kentucky Folk Art Center. We're going to continue our collections conversations with this video, and today we are going to highlight the work of Minnie Adkins. I think we can consider Minnie kind of the founding foremother of the Kentucky Folk Art Center in a way. It was really her work that was foundational in the development of the first folk art collection, which was housed at Morehead State University beginning in 1985. And she was also a large part of the creation of the Folk Art Center back in 1994. So Minnie was born in the 1930s in Elliott County near Newcomb Creek. And she had watched her her male relatives do a lot of woodworking and traditional crafts and whittling. So Minnie received a pocket knife when she was about 10 years old, and that was a little bit unusual for a girl because pocket knives were usually gifts given to boys, but she had watched the male members of her family participate in traditional wood crafts and carving, and she picked up the skills and then she added her own vision to those skills. So she's been carving since she was a young girl living in eastern Kentucky. Her family relocated. She was married in the 1950s. She and her husband Garland relocated to Ohio, like many families did, to find work. And it was during this period where she lived outside of Cincinnati, Ohio, that she became a little more invested in the memories, the things that reminded her of home. And this is where she kind of developed the iconographic language of the animals that she depicts, many of which you can see here: the fox, the rooster, dogs. These things repeat again and again in her work. And I want to point out the rooster in the back here. So you can see that she's taken rough wood that has this particular shape, this kind of forked shape. She likes to use a forked shape when she's working on her roosters. You can see that she's left some of the bark intact. And what that shows us is that she's really seeing the sculptural qualities of the landscape around her. So she's seeing this perfect piece of wood, which for her represents the rooster, sticking its neck out. And we know what happens when a rooster has to stick its neck out. Usually that means it's going to get its head chopped off. And so she had not only the traditions of her country life, her rural life that she had participated in as a girl, but also an artist's vision of seeing sculpture in the landscape and then making that come to life in her own vision. Here you've got a self-portrait of Minnie and a portrait of her husband Garland. They worked together with Minnie's vision. Garland was also an artist in his own right. He created a kind of distinctive horse shape that became very iconographic and well known and associated with his name. But often they sign their work simply G and M, or Minnie and Garland, working together as a duo. Minnie was named a Kentucky Colonel in 2006, and she also received an honorary degree from MSU in 1998. So she is extremely important to the region, she's extremely important to Kentucky folk art, and she's also a foundational member of the Kentucky Folk Art Center's collection. You can find out more about Minnie Adkins and her work in the catalog produced in 2015 for Kentucky Folk Art Center titled Minnie Adkins Against the Grain. And this can be found through the Folk Art Center website and also through the ScholarWorks collection of Morehead State University.